Hey everybody, welcome to Bearded Baker Banter. Beautiful Thursday morning. Got some special guest hosts with me here. Obviously, Trent and Trey are not with us. Trey's on vacation. Trent's got brand new baby, so congratulations, Trent. But yeah, so we got some new hosts here. We got Big John up at the top here, and we also got Steve, aka Fast Breaks, with us here. So welcome, Steve. Welcome, Big John.
Yeah, we're the two people that look most like Trent and Trey.
I mean, my beard, working on the beard, you know.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about here. We're gonna we'll touch on some baseball stuff. We'll do a little NFL, obviously with the schedule release too. We won't get too much into that because it is kind of brand new, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't had a lot of time to digest a lot of it. I know it's kind of a new holiday for the NFL, but. We will get into some PGA Championship picks. We'll do our Preakness horse stuff, and then we'll kind of play it by ear and see where we're at by the end of it. So let's jump into it. If you guys want to, we're going to look at MLB, which is what we'll start with here. We'll do with our strike ball, wild pitch stuff. Anybody want? I mean, I'll let you guys kind of take the reins here and start. So
go ahead, Steve. You're furthest away.
All right. I guess we'll start with the strike first. So things I'm enjoying about this MLB season so far. I'm a big pitcher guy, so I'm really enjoying seeing some of these new names pop up. One of my close friends, he's a big Cubs fan, known him since high school, so I'm a low key Cubby. So
all right,
Shada Imanaga is my guy. When they brought him over from Japan. A lot of the books were coming out. They weren't sure if it was gonna translate. He was a big strikeout guy over there. But he is killing it right now. So it's a shock to the system. So it's good to see. Ranger Suarez, the way he's been pitching. Seth Lugo, he's been playing well. I was gonna talk about Ronel Blanco, but
you have to wait. You have to wait 10 days to talk about it.
Yeah. We figured out why he was pitching so well.
Dude, that blew my mind. Like, I mean, obviously you get the whole thing where everybody's like, "Oh, it's the Astros." No, duh. Like, obviously it's going. It's kind of disappointing because, correct me if I'm wrong, he was the one that threw the no hitter. What, like one of the first games of the season, right?
Yeah.
So it's
his second outing, he took it deep too.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I think he went 8. Like,
I mean, his performance jumped, so I thought it was like, oh, maybe he started working on his stuff, and he had some stuff. So
for lack of a better term, he was looking pretty. He was looking pretty slick.
Right. right. Exactly. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, did they bring down like an official punishment or anything, or are they
10 days
be investigated?
10 games.
It is 10 days. Okay. Shoo. All right.
Really think do the math. It's not really much.
No, not for a pitcher. 2 starts.
So, I mean, I guess it's right that he's on the Houston Astros. Surprise. You ain't
dude,
cheating,
and it's not
trying.
Right. And it's not like it's helping them either. You know what I mean? Right. It's like the Astros have been kind of down.
Right.
I'll tell you what, what was it? Oh man, I'm gonna butcher his name. Amananga. So he said from the Cubs.
Yep.
Dude, K-prop wise, I know Steve, you're big K-prop guys. That's kind of my bread and butter. But I'll tell you what, man, 7-7, 8-8 his last 4 games. I mean, he's killing it. So.
Right. So we'll see when it comes down, but it looks like he's leading the way for Cy Young at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see.
That'd be pretty nuts.
You want me to throw to John for his strike?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just went through.
I like seeing Rutschman with the considering we're the unofficial official Orioles broadcast.
Orioles broadcast.
I like seeing what Rutschman as he's young. You always develop your power late. As you age, you begin to gain your power. And Rutschman, 4 home runs or 3 home runs in the last 5 games or whatever. And the walk off today, he did. He had a 2-run homer to win it today. So, I mean, he's starting to develop. He develops power. It'll be scary, as a switch hitting catcher. I mean, what more could you want?
Right.
And can I say the beautiful thing too about him having the walk off, which technically because we're recording today, I guess. But,
yeah, I'm sorry.
But no, with him having that walk off against the Blue Jays, literally kept the Orioles streak alive.
Yeah,
and it's we brought up a couple weeks ago. It was like, hey, I think it was like 104. Now it's 106, and it literally has started since he came up for the O's. I mean, for him to actually be the reason that it's actually continued was kind of cool. So,
what's the record?
I don't know
122 or 123, I think.
Which blows my mind. That number blows my. When I saw 104, I'm like, oh man, nobody's touching that. And then it's like, I think it was fourth best, like of all time. Like fourth best. Like, what the heck? Like, Rutschman's playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he is.
My strike to kind of keep with the pitching theme of some things, but like I said, I'm also a big K-prop guy. The guy that has been my go-to last year, I was a big Spencer Strider guy. Beautiful lip saddle. Obviously not playing right now. So weirdly enough, my go-to guy this year has been Chris Sale. Also from the Braves, interestingly enough. I do like to bet the Astros pitchers kind of across the board, but Chris Sale has been I don't think I've lost with him as a pick right now. I'm probably jinxing it, but right now Chris Sale as a pitcher is 6-1 in his 8 starts. He's got a 2.54 ERA, averaging, which is kind of nice if you look at the gambling perspective of things with K-props especially. I look for guys that can go a little bit or teams that let the guys go. He's at 6.2 innings a game right now, which is kind of nice that he gets over that 5 threshold. And Ks, he's actually at 1.2 Ks a game. So he's capped a lot around 5.5, 6.5. I'm sure that after his last couple outings, I'm sure he's going to start to get the 7.5, 8.5 lines, which I hate.
Yep.
I think right now the only other guys like Dylan Cease is always like 8.5, 9.5, and I'm like, oh man, you really want to take the under, but like then he throws 12.
Yeah,
it's like, you kidding me? It's like, all right.
I've been eating those this past couple of weeks, man.
Me too. But yeah, so Chris Sale's been my dude.
Chris Sale. The only thing about Chris Sale, I mean, isn't it funny how healthy he is on a winning team?
Yeah.
And how unhealthy he was on a losing team?
Yeah.
No more back problems. No more problems. No more health problems. Hey, I'm ready for my next start. That's interesting.
Hey,
it's sort of funny how all of a sudden winning sort of heals all your wounds.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Blessed hands.
It does.
I don't know.
Right. Wait, Angels in the outfield. Was that the Braves or was that the Indians?
That was Angels.
Well, no, that
was Anaheim. We're there at Anaheim, right? Anaheim man. Angels at that point.
Might have to go back and edit that out. That was
No, we need some humor in the show.
We
need some good laugh.
Like,
Tyler, you're just testing me, man. That was it.
I literally said Angels in the outfield. I'm like, oh, was that the Braves?
All same color schemes. Don't worry.
Yeah,
and that was what that was my thought. All right, it's been a long day. All right, well, let's jump into ball here. This is stuff that we're not really a fan of. Can be taken a couple ways. Sometimes we look at it like, oh, this is really what I hate. Sometimes it's just like frustrating stuff too. So, Steve, you want to get us going with the ball?
Yeah. I wanted to go ahead and skip without saying like the umps because we're all sick of that. What's going on with these guys?
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something a little different with that. So I want to talk about how like baseball is kind of like messing up how they're showing the game. And by that, I mean, it's hard to get access to watch the games. Yes. So Tyler, I know yes. earlier you noticed you spoke that you had YouTube TV. So do I. And I cannot watch being in my local market. I'm right outside of Washington, D.C. I can't watch national games. Because the local, the local regional network doesn't have a deal with YouTube TV. and
That,
You mean Masson?
Masson. Yep.
well,
Yeah.
now, Steve, I will. I don't know if this is just capitals for hockey, but
Mhm.
there is that like monumental channel.
Monumental. Yeah, Monumental.
Do they
channel.
show? Do they show?
You can
them?
watch Capital. You can catch Capital games here,
but
you can watch
not
that.
nationals.
Nope. Nationals
What?
and Orioles. I can't watch the two closest
wow.
teams.
What?
Yeah, the only way I can get that is if, and I wrote this down because I wanted to make sure I said it right, so no one else sends a comment to me or something.
Right.
So I can go Fubo
Yep.
TV.
Yeah, Fubo. Yep.
And buy their package, and then they charge like a local regional fee
Mhm.
on top of that.
Right.
Or MLB.TV. That's go through their kind of like league pass.
Yeah.
But the options are just limited, and it kind of, in my opinion, it hurts their growth of like,
Yeah.
we want more people,
The
more
game.
eyes watching this game. And it's
Yep.
like, well,
Yep.
if you guys can't work out a deal with YouTube TV, who like
Yeah.
I'm guessing millions of people probably have that, and this area is
for sure.
popular. And it's just, it makes it difficult just to
Yeah.
follow your local teams, so
Yeah.
that's one thing I just really kind of annoys me with baseball right now, is just the regional coverage. I know you can go deeper with it, like with Colorado, I think with like Valley Sports and how that's like falling apart because they filed for bankruptcy and all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
So it's just, they're not helping themselves amongst the NBA, NFL.
Right.
Now it's like, well, I'll just, I'll watch NHL and I'm,
That's
not the biggest hockey guy, but
Right.
being originally from Texas, all that, Dallas Stars is the only.
I was gonna say Texas hockey.
Heck so I see more of their games, than anything else. But it's just coverage of baseball. It's just kind of disappointing how they kind of dropped the ball on that. And
pun intended.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And it's just, I want to see baseball. Like, it seems like baseball was taking steps, working on their popularity, and you're getting more faces, and they're trying to build up more players, and we're not just relying on like Mike Trout. And now we have, Shohei, and we got East Coast guys. We got the Orioles, playing well. We have, and we can't even watch them. So,
wow.
Oh, so now you had mentioned, because I looked in the Fubo TV thing, which honestly, I mean, between YouTube TV, and if I signed up for that too, I'm paying just what I was with cable. And I'm like, well, why? What am I going to do here? Like, what's the choice? With MLB TV, I did look into that to see, like, oh, okay, because hey, I'll subscribe if I can watch the Orioles. Like, all right, pay whatever. It blacks out the games that are local. So in our area, we do get Masson on, I think it's Xfinity and stuff, but it's blacked out in our area because you could watch it that way. So even if I had MLB TV, I wouldn't even be able to watch the Orioles games.
That's crazy. See, it's just they're dropping the ball, man.
It's a stronghold. I mean, it's frustrating because you're exactly right. I mean, you look at the channels and stuff that you can watch. I feel like every other sport. I mean, and I was, never a big like soccer guy. Just, I didn't understand everything. I'm not gonna lie though. Ever since I watched Ted Lasso, I've been following Premier League pretty closely now.
There we go.
I was gonna say you're big. I know you're a big Premier League guy.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
But like, I'm able to watch more soccer games, Premier League, that literally take place in England than I am of baseball teams. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's nuts, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating just trying to find a game to watch. I mean, I guess you can catch it on Apple TV on Fridays, since they have like Friday night baseball.
Yep.
But I mean, that's just another service if you don't have Apple. So it's
right.
You're kind of catch right there. So
that and kind of spoiled too, because you go from like college basketball where it's like you pick any game and you watch it, and then it's like, okay, college basketball's done. Okay, baseball, and it's like, oh, I can't watch any game. So it's like I'm sitting there at night sometimes, and I'm like, all right, is there anything on ESPN? It's like, it's terrible, man. You're exactly right. The blackout stuff, and that's, what is it, Selig? Is that the commissioner's name? I can't think of his name.
Selig? No, that's
That's the old commissioner.
That's the old commissioner.
That's the old commissioner.
But
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crenshaw Mountain Landis.
they gotta change that, man. They gotta do something, because I think, to your point too, man, if you want, especially young viewers,
And local teams, if you want your local teams followed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Local teams, young viewers, it's like that's the only way you're gonna grow your sport, because I guess I'll call myself an old head. But we're kind of, fixed in like, hey, but my son's 7 and he loves the Orioles. And there's times where I'm like, I'm able to find, I got a way to find the game like on my phone. Mm-hmm. So he and I are sitting there with this tiny little screen sometimes, like, watching it. But it's like, it's tough.
We're thinking about
you can come to your dad's house who pays his cable through the roof.
That's true. Which premium.
All right, John, we'll be over at your house watching.
There you go. I'll welcome everybody.
I'll bring the beer.
There you go.
Let's do it.
Like growing up,
I got the TV out near the pool so we can go swimming while we're watching baseball.
Oh, you got it. I'll bring 2 30 packs then. But, growing up, you saw WGN. I know I could watch the Cubs, TBS.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Watch, what I mean? The Braves.
Yeah.
And so
the Braves, yeah.
So it's just interesting the direction they're going. I guess they were trying to follow the other sports models, but
yeah. But think of what you're missing. You get a little kid, okay, and he watches his local team, okay. Now, if you're going to take your kid to a baseball game, I'm not taking my kids to see the Yankees up in New York. I'm not taking them to Chicago to see a Cubs game. I'm not taking them to Atlanta to see an Atlantic. I'm taking them to Baltimore or Philadelphia, the close teams, or Washington, the Nationals. I'm taking them to a close team.
Pirates.
Or the Pirates. Yeah, the Pirates have a wonderful stadium. I can't stand the Pirates, but they have a wonderful stadium. But but the whole thing is you build the fan base. And you're going to get those kids who say, Dad, take me to the ball game.
Yeah.
Because I want to see my team. Say, all right, let's go. Whereas, all of a sudden now the Atlanta Braves, well, we're going to wait till the Braves come into town, or we're going to wait till this, because that's who the little kid starts liking, because that's who they're seeing. I saw Jim Palmer pitch, the very first baseball game. Who's that team? Who's that guy? It was the Baltimore Orioles. I fell in love with the Baltimore Orioles. And I was like, sheesh, Jim Palmer, favorite player, because I saw him pitch. I've been an Orioles fan since. And
you said you also saw Babe Ruth play, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. When my boys were small, one time in the side yard, we're playing ball, and they go, Dad, did you ever see Babe Ruth play? And I'm like, what the hell? It's like, and they were dead serious. I just had to stop, just stop. I had to walk in the house and tell somebody, and it was like, it just freaking asked me if I saw Babe Ruth play. It's like, oh my God. So, yeah, that was
you hit it on the head, John. Hit it on the head with that one. Like that's.
Yeah. You want to build a fan base.
All right.
Yeah.
Should I touch on a ball?
Yeah. Give us
all right. My ball is a couple things. It's funny. The Phillies are playing with, they're around I think they still have the best record in baseball right now. But, this every time I watch that team, I think to myself, okay, one, why are you leading off Kyle Schwarber?
Yeah.
God, you're touching a sensitive subject. That's my guy. I love
the guy. Don't get me wrong. I love the guy. But lead off? I mean, come on. I mean, put him in front, put him, like third in the lineup or whatever. You know what I mean? Put him in front of Harper. I mean, Schwarber's going to see pitches. And when Schwarber sees pitches, look out. I mean, he's got his average up to 226 now, which is as high as it's been like 2 years. But leading off, I didn't understand it. The other thing about the Phillies bothers me a little bit is that what's his name, Nick Castellanos or whatever.
He's screwed me over there, and he screwed me over on a K prop. He's on my shit list.
He's just, I mean, he's terrible right now. I mean, just terrible. And it's like, I don't I don't understand. It's like, go with somebody. I mean, I don't care what kind of money you're paying them. Go with somebody. But I mean, their pitching is what's carrying that team, to their record.
Yeah, their pitching staff is.
Watching Castellanos the other day, I'll tell you what, like he has good at bats in the sense where he's going to get your pitcher to throw 7 or 8 pitches because he's going to foul them all off, and then he's going to strike out. Yeah. And when I say he screwed me over on a K prop, I think it was against the Blue Jays, and he kept foul, and then just watched one go by, and I'm like, that was the last strike that I needed the under. And that K put the over, and I was like, damn it. It was the last out of the inning, and the guy was done. I was like, are you kidding me? But no, I don't know. Would you lead Harper off?
No.
Get him his at-bats?
No. I'd even lead the catcher off. That catcher, I mean, he's fast as sin. He's the fastest catcher in the league.
Who was that?
No. Starts with an R.
Get the stat guys on it real quick.
Ramale or Ramiro. I can't even believe. I freaking watch the Phillies all the freaking time.
I mean, with Kyle, man, you're going to get 1 or 2 things. You're either going to get, actually 3. He walks.
Well, 3. He'll walk, homer, or strikeout.
Yep.
Real muto.
Strikeout.
Real muto. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a free. I'd lead him off. I mean, he reminds me.
Too.
What's that?
He bats second right now.
I know he does. Yeah.
So
behind Schwarber.
Yeah.
And then they have Harper.
I don't know. Yeah.
And Turner's hurt right now, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, Kruk had a line. So funny. He said, what did he say? They saw Trey Turner running in the outfield, before the game. They showed him, and announcer goes, man, he's fast. And he goes, doesn't he look fast? And Kruk goes, yeah, I know. It looks faster than both of us. And I mean, Kruk to him, he's a guy, and the announcer didn't know what to say. He goes, yeah, he looks faster than both of us. And I was like, okay, who isn't faster than both of you guys? Although Kruk did have 28 stolen bases one year with the Padres. I will note that.
I did not know he played for the Padres.
Hey, man, what's out to the big boys, man?
That's where it started.
Right. All right. I'll round the balls off here. That sounds weird.
Yeah,
we'll leave that one alone.
We'll edit that.
So, I'm not gonna lie. Every time we do the ball thing, like somehow it sounds weird. Yeah. Round the balls off. So my ball is actually the Astros. Astros I would say it's a ball because they're frustrating. Not that I like the Astros. It's frustrating in the sense that they are literally last in strikeouts per game. They are first in hits per game. But yet I mean, and you could make the argument, decent pitching staff, but they're 4th in the AL West with a record of 17-25. Mm-hmm. Right now, actually, currently, I believe they're sitting behind the Oakland A's. So frustrating in the sense it's like, I think I brought up a couple weeks ago too about the Astros because I don't know, Trent and Trey have this whole beer bet thing with are the Astros going to make the playoffs and everything else, and everybody's afraid to take it. I mean, they're right now they're on a 4-game win streak. I do think that they'll turn it around. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. They might sneak in as a wild card somehow, but the AL West is not strong. I mean, Texas now lost 5 in a row. Mm-hmm. Oakland's lost 4 in a row. And then Seattle's actually sitting at the top right now. They're all kind of like so. I do think they'll make the playoffs, but I also brought up the point a couple weeks ago is that, I mean, Dusty Baker's kind of a missing X factor.
Mm-hmm. And I was going to say that. What's the common denominator? Really top-notch quality manager. Dusty Baker knew he had the ability. By the way, his name's Johnny B. Baker. That's his real name. But
no relation.
No, close. But we both hit a lot of home runs. But he he was a what do you say, a player's coach. I mean,
Yeah.
guys would walk through a wall for the man. There's no doubt about it.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. That's my ball just because they're frustrating. I don't know. What do you guys? I'll use this as some leverage next week. Will the Astros make the playoffs?
Well, see, I had a future on them before the season started, so I'm already kind of riding that train.
So I
was kind of like, all right, they're gonna do this bounce back. It's gonna switch off between the Rangers and Houston. They're gonna get one back, but I don't know. I don't know right now. And now we know that the pitchers doing a little extra. I mean, it's hard for me to get behind it. Like I'm cool with swallow with that one. Like let that one go. But if their bats come alive, I don't.
They have been though. It's like I can't. Like, why are they losing?
What's his Tucker? How many home runs did he hit in a short period of time?
Yeah.
Tucker had like 7 home runs in like a short period. Isn't he up to like 13 or 14 now? I mean, I think he took the lead.
I mean, every time I've tried to watch the Astros, it's blacked out. No, I'm just kidding.
There we go.
You're blacked out of the game is.
Depends on the night of the week now.
That's right. I think the Astros. I don't know. I think the Rangers, now that they won the championship and stuff, it's going to be hard to get them knocked out. But if the Rangers falter, the Astros are there.
They're 500 right now. They lost 5 in a row. They're 22-22. The Rangers.
I know, but their lineup's pretty solid. Looking at it,
so is the Astros.
This is the year we're not paying attention to Seattle. When the past 2 years we've been watching them like, oh, this is it. They're going to take that step. The year before they got there too early. Last year after, you're saying like, oh, this is it. They're going to take the step, and they just, like it came down to the end for them. So maybe this is the one that Seattle does something, but I have to.
The sad part of it is, the sad part of it is, I hate the Seahawks so bad that it filters over to their baseball team.
I don't know. I hate as a Niners guy. I hate the Seahawks too, but I've never minded the Mariners ever since Griffey and all those guys. Yeah. Like they were all. I mean, that was the childhood growing up watching Griffey, and and they were legit. I will say this. Here, you ready for this? Seattle Mariners sitting in first right now in the AL West, literally lead the league in strikeouts a game. Wow. They are dead last, but yet they're sitting there at 24-20. And honestly, I mean, it is a defensive thing because that, from a betting perspective, more than likely you should take the under on the Seattle Mariners games.
Right.
So they're going to strike out a lot and they're going to play great defense. So
it's that money ball thing, man. It's all all analytics, man.
Yep. All right, let's jump into our last topic here with baseball, and that's our wild pitch.
Wild pitch. So my wild pitch, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm gonna say the Chicago Cubs are gonna win the World Series.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm coming in hot, man. Coming in hot.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's the pitching staff. I love it. I know they have some injuries, but the guys coming back are just, once they get right, they're gonna be hard to stop. Their bats are kind of a little overrated at the moment, but that always balance out. In my opinion, it's just a law of averages. I think if they get hot in August, it's watch out. Wow. So that is my wild pitch. Chicago Cubs.
So not just make the playoffs, they're taking it.
They're taking the whole thing.
Cubs pennant. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Is that little 13-year-old kid getting that arm surgery or what?
That's good.
Deep cut, John.
Dude, shout out to Henry Rowan Gardner.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love it.
Names out, yep. Hey, and I'll tell you what, they sit in the NL Central. I mean, nobody thought the Brewers would be where they're at right now. And they're a game and a half behind the Brewers right now. So Do you think the Bats are overrated? Because I don't know.
It's
They're a team. They're a team I'm
quiet,
afraid
man.
to bet against. Yeah.
It's just
I want to.
Like tonight.
You got to pull for that team. I mean, all these years. I mean, it's painful.
I mean, when they got Madden as their manager,
Mm-hmm.
and
Again, there's a I mean, managers make a difference.
If I could bring my boy on here, I called him. I was like, we're gonna win the World Series. And he just started laughing. He's like, my dad would be so happy if he heard you say that. I was like, no, man, we're winning the World Series. Now they didn't do it the first year, but that second year they ended up doing it. But I feel like there's something special about this team. There's a good chance. Pitching seems like it's king right now, and if they have pretty much two guys. What's that? Javier Asada?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Shada. So I mean, like that. You got two guys, and then
Talion doesn't play bad either.
Mm-hmm.
I know he got hit around the other night, but he's actually a pretty decent guy too.
And then I think they have one guy come back off IL, Chris. I can't remember his last name, and he showed me that's what's kind of like, okay, if they have the pitching staff, if anything, when the Nationals won their World Series, they go, we're going to invest everything in the pitching. And,
Makes
everyone's favorite
difference.
guy, Bryce, was gone because he was the man around here. But, he was gone. And it was, Steven Strasburg and Max. And it just looked, that was it. Like, it was pitchers going to get us there. So they can put it together. And just as a team, I would say, if we have an average of 250, they're going to be a problem. So that's my wild.
Cubs Worlds. Do you have futures on that?
Absolutely. But that was before the season started. But I'm a futures guy, man. As you saw with like college basketball, man. Like if I see something that's like a chance, like with the South Florida winning, like it was, and then South Carolina, even though they didn't like finish it, but they finished second, and they were still long shots. And it's just something about the teams. There's a chance. There's a chance. I'm gonna hop on it, and I'm sprinkling, so it's not like I'm super invested there, but it's worth it, and it gives you a little something extra to cheer about. And I think the best part is just being right. You're like, I knew it, right. Stroke the ego a little bit, but
I will. Hey, you were on that South Florida thing. We brought that up so many times after you were on that original episode. We're like, yo, Steve said it. Steve said it.
you gotta watch it, man. Is that coach, man? Like, it's just like John says, the manager changes everything. Now, I don't know a lot about the Cubs manager. I don't know if that's a factor. I should consider a little bit more, but you said wild pitch. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put it in the air right now.
That's a good call. Who do you have beaten in the series? Who do you like them beating?
See, let me think about that one. I'm come back. Let me think about that one.
All right. We'll finish. We'll round out with that one.
Okay.
All right. Give us. Go ahead.
My wild pitch. The Orioles. Unofficial, official podcast of the Baltimore Orioles. Do they move Cedric Mullins?
Ooh.
Maybe for a reliever, like Garcia out of the Blue Jays, a long receiver. I watched him pitch the other day. That man had everything, every pitch working. Man, he'd be a phenomenal closer. Or Hoffman for the Phillies. The Phillies could use a center fielder. Right now, they got the kid who dropped the fly ball the other day for in center field for the last out or whatever, and then the Mets went on to score some runs. But I don't know. Cedric may have seen his days as an Oriole. In my opinion, I think he's movable, and I think we're deep enough to get some room. Get something for him.
Dude, that would hurt though. Like
I know, but if you're going to be a winning team, sometimes you gotta have some guts.
What I think what would make me feel more confident is if I saw some of the younger guys that they did call up have a little bit more success than what they had been.
Yeah.
Kerstead and obviously Jackson Holiday, like I'm watching them, I'm like, oh boy, like they're not ready yet, and it's a couple games here and there, like, it's a long season, but Mullins might hurt. At first I thought you were going to say Mateo, but I was going to say like
Mateo, no, I love Mateo.
Dude, Mateo is playing out of his mind.
Yeah,
you would talk about a guy that gets on base and scores runs all the time, like.
Well, he's so fast. I mean, he's ridiculous.
Dude, it's fun. It's fun to watch.
If Mullins starts hitting, I can understand it, but man,
he hit early.
Frustrating.
Though.
He is frustrating.
Yeah.
He's hitting like 207 right now. I mean, come on.
Holiday got sent
back
down,
in the lineup.
right?
What's that?
Holiday got sent back down to the minors.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, he was like 1 for 30 something.
I mean, maybe to kind of echo what John said earlier. Getting that. When you get older, as your swing will come to you. Maybe that's where Holiday's falling into. It's just
he's only 20.
Got a lot of hype to live up to.
Yeah,
got a whole lot of hype to live up to. I mean, that pressure is phenomenal. I can't even imagine. I had a buddy, Al Chambers, was #1 draft pick in the country, and I was talking to Al, and one night, he gets called up. He gets called up to Seattle. And Al Cowens and Ken Griffey Jr. and all that, and he's a rookie, and he's inserted in the 4-hole. He's hitting right behind Ken Griffey Jr. in his first game in the major leagues. And he said, there was so much pressure. And he goes, there were guys who hated me because of where they put me in the lineup. He goes, they hated me, and he goes, they were my teammates, and he said the pressure was just ridiculous, so. I mean, these young guys, they have to learn how to deal with it, unfortunately.
Yeah. That, and I'm tell you what, man, we can make the argument for whatever, but like hitting a baseball, man, off these major league pitchers, like I think
with all the types of pitches
hardest,
they have,
that's one of the hardest things to do. Coming from a guy that only ever played I've only played high school baseball, and I sucked at hitting. Like I'm gonna sit here, like I can't imagine like seeing 100 some miles an hour, and all of a sudden dropping down like 86, and also moving the ball, and like,
right.
You kidding me? Like they're no. I watch some of these at bats, and these guys that like hit like 12 pitches. It's like, oh, foul ball, oh, he threw this, he threw a slider, he threw this, he threw a changeup, and I'm like, how the hell? Like, are you just guessing, or are you just that good to be able to see it out of his hand? Like but that's what I'm saying. Like that is one of the hardest things to do. So like these guys that do that, like it's frustrating. Like again, being a K-prop guy, not to go back into all that, but like I'm like, oh, how hard is it to get six Ks? Like you have like 9 pitches here. These guys can't hit shit, and these guys are like drilling. I'm like, what the hell? Like,
you know how many bets that's lost me?
Just right, literally.
Oh, it's just 3.5. He can get 4. Yeah. Everybody gets 4.
Exactly. John Means the other day. How about it? John Means?
Right.
Oh my God. I was on John Means 3.5. I'm like, oh, well, that's like a given.
Slam dunk.
Like John Means. Yeah. And what did he end up with 2 or 3?
I think he had 3. I think he finished with 3. Yep. Because I think I posted that one. Yep. I think he had 3.
And you know it's you did, because I put it in a parlay. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it official, but I'm gonna parlay it, and put it with this, and this. I'm like, because that's easy. Like that's an easy. Nope. 3. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then he pitched almost 6 innings, and I'm like, you can't get 3. You can't get like 4 strikeouts. And
like, the thing about it is like they'll only get they'll go under. They'll get 4, and they'll pitch a great game. Like it's still a great game because they got 2 hits. Only like 4 strikes, and it's like you couldn't get 5. Like that's all I want.
Blows my mind. Like I think the other Bradish tonight with the Orioles 4.5. I'm like, well, he's had 5 over 5. He's had 5 or more in 6 straight games. 4.5, and I found most books had him at 5.5. I found him at 4.5. I'm like, oh, easily, let's take this. Nope. He got, I think, three times.
Yeah, I stayed away from him today. I had him yesterday when it got delayed, but today I was like, when there's a delay, I've learned just, you know what, just let it go.
Just
like
cut ties. That's good advice.
Yeah, just let it go the next day.
That's good advice.
I'm gonna put that in my notes for the future here.
Yeah, if it's the delay, just let it go. But yeah, believe me, Tyler, you talking about going to high school, man. I quit after T-ball, man. I knew it wasn't for me. So I'm gonna go play football, Dad. Right? You know, I'm gonna go shoot some hoops and stuff. You know?
Right.
No, man.
It is, man. That's tough. But all right, I'll round us out here. Wild pitch. Going with popularity right here. Paul Skeens. Pitcher for the Pirates. I did take his under this week, which lost. So I'll start with that. Paul Skeens going to win Rookie of the Year in the NL this year.
I mean,
the hype is real, dude. I mean, they're comparing him to Strasburg.
So real.
Well, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt and isolated to like 4 pitches, four innings a game, like Strasburg's career. Oh, we can't throw more than 3 innings. Can't throw more than 3 innings. We don't want him to get hurt. Oh, he's hurt again.
So I'm having flashbacks, John. Man.
He was one of the most frustrating because it was like there was so much stardom sitting inside that man, and he could just they'd be like, let's nurse him. Let's nurse him. Let's nurse him. You know, he proves Nolan Ryan's theory right. Pitchers today don't pitch enough. That's the problem. That's why they have arm problems. Nolan Ryan threw as hard as anybody, and he pitched for 20 years. And you look at Nolan Ryan's stats, he pitched for 20 years, and he pitched for like the freaking California Angels, okay, that were horrible. Okay, so he pitched for those guys for a stretch. He pitched for the Rangers, who weren't very good, but he pitched for 20 years. Tom Seaver, another guy, power pitcher, and they threw a ton of innings. These young guys. Ryan said it himself. He said young pitchers don't pitch enough.
So here's my question though, because the other argument on is that
I know what the other argument
too much. Well, but hold on, because. And I also feel like you and I have talked about this before too, is like how much kids pitch when they're young.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, you know.
What I was getting at with the young kids is the unfortunate thing is with AAU baseball and travel baseball and stuff, a lot of times these young kids play their local leagues and then go AAU on weekends. Right. Well, the AAU coach doesn't care that the kid just threw X number of pitches on Thursday. Saturday's a big game for him. Okay. He's a paid coach, and he's expected to win his AAU games. So he's going to turn around and throw the kid again. And that's where the parents have to sort of step in and say, hold on a second. Johnny's his right arm is about 3 inches longer than his left arm right now because we're overworking him. Ben McDonald's a prime example of being overworked. His LSU college coach destroyed his career because he threw him too much in college.
So you're saying more professionally then?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to ask about the youth, because talking to some of the dads who are now got their kids pitching, they're avoiding certain types of pitches. Is that do you think that's a factor, or that they're? I never
let my boys throw curveballs. You know.
Yes.
I taught them a thumbs up sinker, and I taught them other pitches, and you teach a change up. You could throw it 2 or 3 2 different ways, and it's a hard pitch to learn. I always told them, I said, the first one you're going to throw, you're going to be 5 feet short of home plate, and it's going to bounce. And they're like, boom, how'd you know that? The fact of the matter is, the kids have to learn those change speeds. It doesn't have to be a curveball. But the first time they lock somebody up with a curveball,
they're hooked.
They want to throw it all the time. Man, I buckled his knees. I'm throwing that thing again.
If I could throw one, you're right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the nastiest curveball I ever saw in person was Barry Zito. And
he was a good one.
That right nasty. There, I was like, man, if I could do that, that's it. Like, that would be it. Just put me in for one pitch, coach. Like that's it.
Well, and yeah, you hit against Tug McGraw. You had him throw you a screwball, right? Which was
Yeah, and I told him, I said, I'm not going to swing at it. I said, I just want to see what a screwball looks like from the right side of the plate from a left-handed pitcher. And
tell Steve what that was, because that was kind of
it
cool.
was a weird. It was a field of dreams where he'd come out and he'd watch you and so forth, and then he'd pitch against both teams and stuff like this, and he'd sit in the dugout. You got to talk with him a little bit, but I stood and watched this flipping screwball. It was the most amazing thing. It was a curveball. It looked like a right-handed curveball from a left-hander, and it was like, what the heck? I mean, it was coming at me, and I'm like, all right, he's a professional. And boom, it went right back across the plate. And I was like, wow, that was neat. I asked him why a lot of guys don't throw it, and he said they don't teach it. That's the problem. He goes, it's easy on the arm, real easy on the arm. But
interesting.
Did you just open something? Who's that a tribute to?
Yep. Cheers to Richard. Shout out. Well,
there you go.
Trogue second cut mango double IPA. Appreciate it.
There
Richard,
you go, man. So.
Steve, we'll have to introduce you to Richard sometime.
All
Richard's
right.
another guy. He coached baseball with us with youth baseball, but he's another guy that listens to the podcast stuff. So
yeah,
good dude.
Good guy.
And the reason we call it a Richard Pop Top is because he texted me the one time. He goes, dude, I love that I can hear the beers popping in the background. So now I'm like, every time I open a beer, I'm like, hey, shout out Richard Pop Top. That's when I don't know if
I'll have mine ready next time you have me on.
I'm on keto, so I'm not drinking beer right
now. All right, so let's switch gears here. I would like to give one more thing about Paul Skeens. He was on McAfee the other day. Nicknames gas station for a pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, that's badass.
You know why? He's got a good hose.
Yeah.
I was like, depending on how you listen to that, yeah, okay.
That's why I said his arm.
So anybody that's not watching,
well, it's an older statement. It's an older analogy.
This is not a reference to Livy Dune at all. So
right.
We're talking about his arm.
Yeah,
no. Right. Hey, didn't we want to ask who he's? Did you make up your mind yet? And who the Cubs are beating in the series?
This is the unofficial.
Okay.
Official podcast of the Baltimore Orioles. I'm gonna go ahead and tell the boys. I'm gonna go ahead and tell
there you go. I'll take that.
So I can go to a game. So it'll be driving distance, and
dude, that'd be awesome. Heck yeah.
This area will be electric, man.
Man.
All the ex Orioles / Nat fans will jump ship, man.
And listen, and you're gonna have to go to the game because you won't be able to watch it on TV.
Exactly.
You're right.
No choice.
Right. Oh. All right, so we're gonna switch it up here a little bit. We'll get in some NFL. So Trent did have a kind of all right. So I'll explain this. We do something called touchdown turnover. Touchdown means you agree with the statement. Turnover means you're like, oh no way, don't agree with the statement. So the way we'll touch on. I have one question for touchdown turnover, and I'll kind of carry that into some free agents of 2025, specifically the wide receiver free agents. And it'll just be, we'll kind of rattle them off quickly where it'll be like, my statement's going to be, will they be on their team next year? The team that they're on currently going into this year. So it'll be touchdown. Yes, they will be, or turnover. No, they're not. So it won't, it's not going to be, oh, hey, this now, it's kind of like quick hitter kind of stuff. So, but I'll start with Trent's question here, which was kind of cool. Because it is a little controversial. I know this was Trent's Heisman pick in the beginning of the season, which I totally disagreed with, and I still to this day will die on this hill that Michael Penix should have been the Heisman winner, but we're not going to get into that. So his touchdown turnover question was that Sam Hartman will start one or more games this year for the Commanders.
Oh,
they did pay him. They paid him a lot of money to be a backup.
I mean, if it was a modeling contest, slam dunk. You know what I mean? It would be a touchdown. But, oh man,
Modeling? I just realized you said modeling.
You know, I mean, all I hear about is how handsome he looks. That's it.
No, this is a start, right? This is a start.
One
His
start.
start one game.
I'm gonna say turnover.
Turnover. Okay.
Yep.
You think Jaden Daniels starts all of them?
I think he does.
Okay.
And this is like totally unknown because we have new coaching staff. We have new quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
The O-line was atrocious last year, so he could be one hit away from a Sam Hartman like start. So
second year ownership,
but I'm gonna say turnover. Just
okay.
Got to back Daniels and hope and pray.
All right. Okay. What do you think?
I think Hartman starts a game.
It's
hard for every NFL. It's hard in the NFL if you don't have two decent quarterbacks, I should say. If you don't have two decent quarterbacks, if you don't have two number one running backs, you're in trouble both ways. But in Daniel's style of play, he's smaller in stature. He's one big hit away just from getting seriously dinged. And, does he answer the concussion protocol the following week?
Yeah.
It's one hit.
Good.
One hit.
Good points.
He's
not afraid to leave the pocket. He's not afraid to leave the pocket. And and in college, and he did play in the SEC. I understood that. But the fact of the matter, in the NFL, you got 300-pound guys that can run almost as fast as you can with very bad intentions.
If you look up on YouTube, there's like a whole Jaden Daniels like blow up like highlight tape. So he's
amazing.
He learned.
He's amazing. And for the game of football, to be honest with you, I want to see him play all. But because he's going to be fun. I mean, as a Raider fan, I wanted him. I really wanted him. But the fact of the matter is, I'm a Raiders fan.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that, Steve. I forgot to tell you that.
Give you a virtual hug.
There you go, man. There you go. Yeah, I wanted him, but with the freaking Commanders, I don't see him playing every game.
That's the thing. They got to protect him. I don't think it's because of bad play, because I do think he's going to play well. I do think he's going to take risks though, because you think of some of these young quarterbacks. I mean, to both of you guys' points, like they don't really know what's out there when they're outside the pocket, where it's like, oh yeah, okay.
The speed's different in college.
It is, and you can't.
Linebackers running 4.4s and 4.5s, man. That's a whole
with bad intentions.
Right. I'm gonna say touchdown. I think he does start a game. I just can't get over the fact. I don't know. I can't get over the fact that they did pay him. I'm not saying they got paid a ton. I mean, they signed him. He wasn't drafted, but they signed him to a pretty big, deal for a guy that wasn't drafted pretty quickly. And it was like, hey, now maybe that's the Commanders saying like, listen, we know you're a decent quarterback, or could be, and we know we also have a guy that's super good, very athletic, but also will take risks. Like, let's make sure that we can kind of protect the nest, I guess, kind of thing,
Right.
Which again, to your point, Dad, is that you need a good, you need two good running backs at least. You need two good quarterbacks at least. It's like, because chances are they might have to come in for a game. I mean, coming from a Niners fan who Brock Purdy was number 3. It was Trey Lance. He went down. Garoppolo, he went down. Brock Purdy, who's this guy, Mr. Relevant? Okay, now look at him now. It's like you never know. I mean, you don't know where, and who knows? Maybe Sam Hartman has to play a couple games and kind of gets other teams to notice him, and maybe he gets a shot elsewhere. Start, because I do think the Commanders are all in on Jaden Daniels and saying like, yeah, this is our future here. They just have to protect him. Yeah. Like, that's the biggest thing. Is like I find it funny that some of these teams, when they draft guys, it's like, you want weapons, yes, but you really gotta make sure that they are healthy.
Protect.
Like you, I mean, look at Joe Burrow. I mean, how many full seasons has Joe Burrow played completely? Yeah, right. I mean, which sucks, because he's a hell of a quarterback.
And he
But he
actually
hasn't
had a
played, you know,
decent
it's like-
line early on.
Yeah.
He
Right.
had a decent line early on. Lately, he
I think
hasn't.
two of the last three, he's been out for several games.
Yep.
2 of the last 3 seasons. So it's
Well,
like
after that Super
take
Bowl,
your guys.
right? After the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
then he
yeah,
started.
yep. Yep. Exactly right.
Yep.
All right. So like I said, we'll kind of jump through these. These are wide receiver free agents. Now listen, if you guys also have anything NFL wise after this too, we can kind of talk through some of that stuff too. All right. So I got 10 free agents. Some are going to be pretty obvious. Some might be a little more controversial in the sense, I don't know. First one we're going to start with here. I promise this is not biased. We broke some news, but didn't break some news last night on our X account. First one I'm looking at here, and again, this is touchdown. Yes, they remain with the team. Turnover, they're leaving their team. That is Brandon Ayuk with the 49ers. Steve, you want to give us touchdown turnover? You think Brandon Ayuk's Niner next year? No.
You got a smart GM, and I want to say turnover. Your GM knows how to make moves, man. And if you don't really want to be there, he'll move on. There's no hard feelings. Keep it moving. He's a businessman. He's just a smart GM. I respect him a lot. And yeah, I would say turnover. I would love to say touchdown for you, but it's just
it's all right. Not too sad. No. you got a team you think he's going to?
No, I don't know off top. It would have to see who what the spots would be.
Yeah. No, Steelers have been floated around a little bit. What do you think? Yeah.
I think touchdown. I think he stays. I don't know that the rookie pans out or is impressive enough because he's not going to get the opportunities with Ayuk and Debo both there. So he's not going to be a finished product enough for Lynch to rely on him as a go-to for the following year. And Debo is closer to the end of his career than Ayuk. And I think if anybody they move would be Samuel before Ayuk, because Samuel has the ability to run and catch passes, and he's a little bit more versatile. So he would have more value, but his age would be catching up to him. And I think they'd cut their losses with him first, and then that would increase the value of Ayuk. And I think Lynch is smart enough to pay him.
So I'll keep this short and sweet. I think touchdown. I do think Ayuk's going to remain a Niner. I think he's about to sign a pretty big contract. I'm really disappointed to see how high some of these wide receiver contracts have gone. Shit, you're just making it worse, man.
The running backs are sitting there going, "Please, can I borrow some money?"
Yeah,
poor running backs,
But so I think he stays. I agree with the Debo thing. I think, again, not to get too much details, but I know the Niners and kind of how things have gone with stuff. I think you take a pretty big hit if you would have traded Debo this year.
Oh, I agree.
Some sort of money. I'm saying financially. So it wouldn't make sense to deal Debo this year. I do think Debo after this year, I think he does get dealt with 1 year left on his contract. He signs with the team for a year, and then he has the whole option kind of thing. I think Ayuk's a little bit. I don't know. If you look at Ricky Pearsall, the guy from Florida that they did draft, I mean, that's Debo, the next Debo. Like the guys in the backfield, the guys coming out of the backfield. I think he's going to pan out.
Prove it in the NFL, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. But
will he get enough opportunities to prove it?
Yeah. So I'm going to say touchdown. I think he remains.
Good. Why'd you start with a Niner? Just kidding.
I went with kind of more obvious. And then kind of went to the ones that are a little bit more controversial.
All right.
I guess in a way.
Let's do it.
Number 2, I know this was controversial for Trey. Justin Jefferson with the Vikings. He becomes a free agent in 2025. Touchdown, he remains with the Vikings. Turnover, he leaves.
gonna stick with the trend here. I think Vikings got to do something, man. And I think moving him, it's and anybody with the last name Jefferson, I claim everybody with the last name Jefferson. Those are my cousins. So Jefferson clan.
So he's going to end up in Washington. No,
I want him wearing black and silver. That's what I want to wear.
Yeah, that's it. I'll take that.
That would be. Oh, I can't wait to buy that jersey. But I think they'll move him just because I feel like they're in like a rebuild, and
the Vikings.
It's just I think that it'd be a smart move for them. Not because they don't want to pay him or they don't want to keep him. I just think how long are you going to keep a guy around there who's that talented and you win 6-7 games a year every time? You know what I mean? If that.
Yeah. What do you think? Big John?
I say touchdown. He's the face of the franchise. They'll move every single other soul on that team except for him.
Man, this is where Trey was on, I would say, the turnover bandwagon. And pretty much the same points, Steve, that you made too. Like, dude, like this guy, look what you have here. Like, and also
they can pull a Herschel Walker trade. I mean, the Cowboys built their entire team on Herschel Walker.
I say touchdown because I call Justin Jefferson is generational talent. Is the phrase I use with him is that he's a guy that comes around. He's a Randy Moss. He's a Randy Moss. He's a Jerry Rice. He's a T.O. He's a Michael Irvin. You put him in the
don't put Michael Irvin in that category. Please don't. I only say that.
Listen. I only say that because they used to beat my Niners in the '90s, man.
No.
But what I'm saying is, but like he's a guy right there where you look at him, he's a difference maker, and I think this was kind of the point I made a couple weeks ago was that looking what the Vikings did with Randy Moss, I don't think they make the same mistake twice.
And that's a great point.
And that's kind of how I look at it. That's kind of I would say the biggest point that I would make with that is that you had Randy Moss, you let him walk, should you have? No. I don't think they do the same thing with him. So generational talent, but I mean it's also going to come down to, a little bit what he wants. Because again, to Steve, to your point, like you win 7-8 games, like JJ McCarthy better be your dude. Like that guy better pan out. And if he doesn't, it's a huge question. It's a huge question.
I'm not sold on him.
I'm not sold either. I'm not sold. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I did not want him in a Raider uniform. I was like, thank you for taking him. Thank you for taking a guy out of Oregon. Thank you. I don't want them. I did not want them as they're not our future quarterback.
Oh, you didn't like Bo?
Nope.
I would give Bo a chance, but listen, Bowser's he's on that generational talent in my opinion level. So
he's a freak. That guy's a freak.
Agree with that. Yeah, so
that's a Dave Casper all over again, man.
So
that's premier tight end right there.
He is Kelsey and Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
The next version, like easy.
Well, I don't know if he has a personality, Kittle, but. Who does other than a pro wrestler
or Kelsey? Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. CeeDee Lamb, Cowboys. Steve,
I don't know what the Cowboys are doing. This question is hard just because I don't know what they're gonna do.
Dallas,
I don't think they've made any moves.
Yeah, that's it. I guess touchdown, because what else you gonna do? Like you have no choice.
And Gallup just left, so
yeah.
We got him. I think he stays. Again, franchise quarterback or franchise wide receiver.
I'm also gonna say touchdown. I think they're more likely to move on from Dak before CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah,
I
don't think you give Dak enough credit. I'm serious. I like that.
He gets criticized.
He does
heavily, And it's
How'd you like to be playing under that ownership?
right.
That,
every
and
single,
that's exactly it.
every single set of downs.
Right.
You're going to be like, come on, Dak. You know,
Here's what I'll say. I think Dak is talented.
Dak is very talented,
but I don't think that he's had a coach that knows how to coach him.
I agree with that.
I don't think McCarthy's knew how to coach him. I don't think what the hell is his name? Oh man, a guy.
It's called redheaded stepchild. That's what we'll call
it. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Dude,
yeah, because I forgot his name too. But his face popped in my head. I was just
It's kind of one of those it burns in it. No, I don't think he's had a coach, but I also don't think that Jerry Jones. I don't think Jerry Jones is a very good owner, to be honest with you.
Oh no.
Well, he doesn't have patience. And I think this year his offseason proved that he's trying to. Okay, we got to be patient now. I mean, he had a tremendous amount of talent, and I think he let the wrong guys leave.
Yeah. And
this year, he
your
was trying to prove that he has patience. He doesn't have patience.
Big moves
that man has a lot of money vested, and what do they have to show for it? Nothing.
Netflix contract for a 10-part documentary. Check it out.
Okay.
It's exactly. Well, I don't know if you got
some additional money. You got some additional money.
Jason Garrett.
That's Jason Garrett. Yep. Yeah. He still talks like a machine. Even as a commentator, he still talks like a machine.
Dude, it's so bad. I can't stand it. Oh. Hey, can we all agree though that it's beautiful that Kellen Moore is an Eagles coordinator?
That is pretty funny.
He sucks. Eagles fans can sit there and be like,
they're coping.
Come on, he'll institute that Boise State. He'll institute that Boise State offense that he used to run.
Dude. All right, next one's definitely a controversial one because I believe he's like the only franchise tagged guy left. T. Higgins with the Bengals. We'll kind of rattle these off because we are.
Hold on. I'll go ahead and say turnover.
Yeah. Turnover.
I agree. Turnover.
He might not even make the start of the season with him.
Yeah,
he is a number 2 right now though because Tyler Boyd leaving for sure. So I think he always was number 2, but
I know, but Higgins has talked about leaving. So
yeah,
that's not a good thing in your clubhouse.
The next 2 here are both Texans wide receivers. You got Nico Collins is going to be a free agent, and then you got the newcomer. You got Stephon Diggs.
Probably he's turnover. I mean, you got Stephon there, but I don't really like Stephon Diggs that much,
dude. I think he's
talented. Like, don't. I think he's talented. I just think that he's
talented, but
he's just not good for.
He isn't what he is. He isn't what he was, I should say.
And I just feel like I love CJ. Watching him play, man, I was so happy to be right. Man. Like, tell him I was like, yo, CJ, but I would rather see Stephon go, but I mean, right now, just for time's sake, let's just say turnover for Stephon after this year. Okay. And I think Nico stays around because I mean he's a Texan, man. Like that, he might not be the face, but like that, he's a Texan.
He had a heck of a season with CJ. So
right,
yeah. He's a huge talent, but I see them both leaving.
Mm.
I think the Texans realize that Diggs is a cancer, and it's like if I'm not getting the ball, I'm not playing. I'm taking the ball and going home. Wow. Nico Collins. People don't think he's a superstar, even though he is a superstar. He flies under the radar, and he's super talented. And some brilliant GM will see that, and they will throw tons of money at that man. And the Texans won't.
Interesting. I mean, besides that, I mean, you also have Tank Dell on the roster.
Yeah,
he's
you might take a shot with Tank Dell. You might take a shot.
Whoa.
That's right, guys.
Jeez. Oh man. Yeah, vicious puns there, man. Holy cow.
Too soon. Too soon.
Yeah, right? I mean, I was like a week ago.
He's okay. He's all right. He's healthy.
Right. John makes
back.
a good point. Yeah, I think
There
I
you go.
texted my friend.
He was okay.
Times like that. Yeah. As soon as we found out he was all right.
He got up.
Yep.
Shoot, man.
He can take a hit. That's what we know. So you know.
Oh man. Jeez. Oh man. I will. So I think Nico stays. I think Stefan leaves. I do think it's more of a D'Amico Ryans thing. I think D'Amico Ryans is a hell of a leader.
Mm-hmm.
I think D'Amico Ryans is gonna be a very good. He's already is, but I think he's gonna be a great head coach. You know, kind of.
He's already proven that
he's got it,
mm-hmm.
and that's biased and not biased.
Look at him when he was a coordinator. Look at him when he was a coordinator. His guys would go to war for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do anything.
And I think it does go back to, and not to get off on a tangent here, but like I think it does go back to like the player coaches, is the guys that understand your guys. Like D'Amico Ryans understands his guys. You know, you guys, Antonio Pierce, Raiders guy.
Mm-hmm.
He understands his guys. Like they want to play for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like
players love him.
It's when you can get guys that, you know, have been through it, they want to play for it. Like, I mean, it is, you know, it is what it is. But like, I think D'Amico's gonna have the boys playing. But Nico stays, Stefan goes. That's my thought. Amari Cooper, Browns.
Yeah, he could. I mean, probably turn over because I mean,
Steve's like, who is that guy again?
We don't talk about him. Yeah,
I agree. He's soon done.
Yeah,
he's soon done. Highly overrated. He'll be back to dropping passes again shortly.
Yeah,
they did sign. The Browns did sign Jerry Jeudy this year.
Yeah.
I think there's enough talent out there where they can take Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper will just kind of sail off in the sunset.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, Deshaun Watson's still my question. Is he the guy? He was the guy, and then
so they can cut him and not, you know, get hit with any kind of you know, till then, but I think they realize like we made a mistake, and
they definitely have to massage the numbers and see what happens.
There you go. Yeah, that might rub him the wrong way.
That's not too soon. That's not too soon.
That'd be his stroke of luck.
By all means, take all the shots of Deshaun. Yes, give him.
All right, Keenan Allen with the Bears now, which sounds weird to say, but
that does sound very weird.
Yeah. Let's say touchdown. Let's say touchdown.
You think so?
Yeah, let's say young quarterback. I'm pretty sure I have no idea the details of his deal, but I bet it's performance based, and he's not going to be a heavy hitter like he was with the Chargers, but if he can be somebody who gives them just something, you know, steady hands, and he's a safety blanket in some kind of way. I think he stays around because he's not really, you know, he's not hitting cap space too much. He's not going to be demanding, you know, Keenan Allen money from 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. I think he rides his career out here. So I say he stays.
So he doesn't want to ring then.
Correct.
I'm just kidding.
I don't think a team with a ring unless they get him this year. I think he's on the downslide of his career.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually say turnover for this one. I think he's gonna want to go to a contender. I don't think the Bears are gonna be a contender, at least for a couple years here. I'm also on the Caleb Williams bus bandwagon, but that's another story for another day. I think almost every other quarterback that was drafted in the thing was better than him. Again, Michael Penix guy, but it's just me. They do have, and I will say that they did draft the best wide receiver though that came out of the draft with Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think Keenan Allen's
I
going to be.
disagree. I disagree with that. I watched him in Washington. That guy did not impress me at all.
Okay. We're
I'm
not going to get into that because, first off, Roma Dunze caught everything. Roma Dunze is Calvin Johnson.
No way. No way. Wow. No way. No way. No. You were too little to remember Calvin Johnson.
Too little? What do you mean too little? Calvin Johnson.
Yep. He jumped over you.
I actually saw Calvin play at I guess when they came to Virginia Tech. When they came to Virginia Tech. Yeah, I went down to go because some of my buddies are in school, so we went down there and to go. Yeah, man, that was something else.
He was a freak.
Rome, you put him over Marvin Harrison Jr. I know we're off intended, but like,
I do. My brothers do not.
Okay,
I don't.
All right. Talented, yes. I just, and my sister went to UT. I'm a Texas Longhorn.
There you go.
I watched what this guy with Washington did to his team like twice. I mean, I don't know, man. We'll see. We have to wait and see, man.
I got a weird Washington bias. Like I was on them from day one.
You were so in Penix that the other guy, you were going to fall in love with several of them. That's what happened,
dude. But if you actually watched the amount of Washington football games like I did, you can't sit there and say that he's overrated because
I don't want to watch subpar football.
I just think he disagreed about calling him the greatest.
I like
the best wide receiver to draft.
Yeah, that's a reach.
That's fine. And again, that's good.
All right, we'll let it play out.
Yeah,
we'll let it play out. Who's next on the list?
All right, sorry. Yeah, we got Chris Godwin with the Buccaneers.
He's out.
I mean, yeah, because I think age, like it's. Like when he was going those back 1,000-yard receiving, then I would say, touchdown. But now it's kind of, and then they could they could move him now and get some pieces. I think they would do it. They wouldn't bat an eye. They would go ahead and do it.
I agree
with that, especially because you just re-signed. What's his name too?
Evans.
Yep.
Yeah, Mike Evans. So I'm also.
That's
I agree
what
with
I'm
you guys
saying.
on that.
Like 1,000, my bad. Anybody listening? That's it. Yeah, my bad.
Last one here is Hollywood Brown, who is now with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean,
Mahomes
can make me look good at wide receivers. So I don't even know right now. Like, is it? Let's just say touchdown. Just 2 years there. Yeah.
I think he goes. They signed that other really fast kid. They're going to turn that other fast kid into the next Tyreek Hill.
That was Steve. That was your guy, Texas guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
bro, that 40 record, man.
Yeah,
the kid. Oh man,
yeah.
I still can't believe the Bills let that happen. Still can't believe that.
The guy's got hands, man. Like he's gonna be one of those guys that slip under the radar, and wow, he went right to the Chiefs.
I agree. Crazy, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and that's why that kid won't be there. That's why Hollywood won't be there.
I'm gonna say touchdown with this one just because of the Rice situation. I don't think he's making very good decisions right now. And I don't. Yeah, another pun. I don't think he's making very good decisions, and I think that they're going to be like, well, if we can get Hollywood, maybe keep him cheap because this is Hollywood's, I believe, 3rd or 4th team, which also surprised me when I actually looked at that. But
Rice will be out of there in a minute. It'll be a minute, Rice.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what you did. All right. Let's jump into what we'll do here is again, we won't spend a ton of time on this. Is going to kind of be pick related stuff.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll have you guys just, if you're ready for it, is do your PGA Championship, your top 10 guy, a top 5 guy, your winner, and then your surprise winner. Surprise winners we always said is about a plus 4,000 or more.
Ooh, okay.
I got mine.
All right.
I'm kind of behind on that one,
That's-
but I will just off the bat. I know who my winner
All right.
is because I'm betting on
All
this
right,
one.
go ahead.
I'm gonna go, I'm Liv's gotta live, man. John Rahm's gonna show up, and the only reason why is because I forgot who came out and like was upset with his comments, but he pretty much was like, "Yeah, man, I respect the PGA guy." Like he said the right things. Like he wasn't like, "Yeah, it's us versus them." He's like, "Yeah, man, I respect everything they do," and they're like, "Oh, well." You know, they felt some kind of way about his comments. And I'm like, he didn't knock you guys. He literally just says, yeah, I respect what you guys are doing. So just for sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and just say my winner is going to be, I like John Rahm, man. Just
John Rahm?
Yep.
Ooh. Who you got, Dan?
Oh, who do I have winning?
Yeah,
I got Scotty Scheffler.
Scheffler?
I mean, he's too hot. He's too hot right now.
Hard to pick against him. So
he's there all the time. I mean, he's right near the top.
Yeah,
dude, I'm not gonna lie, Steve. I got John Rahm as my winner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, and it was funny because I had a conversation today with somebody too, and they're like, "Oh, John Rahm's playing terrible golf, playing terrible," and I'm like, "Then he's due. Like the guy is due. Like,
right."
And I'll tell you what, right now, I think on DraftKings, I think he's listed 4th. And he's still at plus 1,600.
Yep. That's what I saw him at.
You can get a tiny little sprinkle on that and then, see what you can pull off. But yeah, I'm also on John Rahm. Yep. Right. All right. Let's go top 5. We'll save surprise winner for last.
Hold on, let me pull up my.
I'll give you John Rahm a while. That's what I have. I did have him in the top 5.
All right. Not winning, but top 5. All right.
Do you know what? I was going to pick Rory because of the way he's playing, but he's such an ass. I just can't stand him. So I couldn't put him there. I took Rahm.
So I'll give you my top 5 real quick because I do have Rory as my top 5. Rory at the top 5 is plus 180, I believe, on DraftKings. So
he'll cry a river for some reason.
Dude, the guy's getting divorced, man. Give him a break.
See? he doesn't deserve to win.
Let's just shake things up. Let's go.
Uh-oh. He's digging.
You think Xander? Man. You think Xander could be a top 5?
He's up there, man.
You think
he could
5 finish?
Yeah. It's a good call.
Or Colin.
Mark
Colin, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm everyone listening. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm as bad as picking golf winners as I am playing golf. And I play golf. So, but yeah, it's. I don't know. It's tough, man. It's just
it could.
Top 5 too. It's like, you can still get plus numbers with some of the top golfers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like, I even think like Scheffler in the top 5 was like still like plus something, like plus 105. You know what I mean? It's like, well, all right. Like,
yeah.
I mean, not Scheffler, but
who's top 10?
Top 10. I'll start this one off. I got Max Homa. We got Max Homa at plus 300 in my top 10, which I didn't think was bad value for a top 10 pick. But
who you have, Steve?
Say no long shots because I'm about to say maybe like Tommy Fleetwood.
I like Fleetwood. Fleetwood's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tommy Fleetwood. There's no Fleetwood Mac jokes there, right? I'd take in my top 10 Bryson DeChambeau. He's at plus 260.
He's one I feel like every time I bet on him to do something well, I feel like he sucks.
Now, if he gets paired up with Kupka or whatever, he'll fall.
Brooks.
He'll fall flat in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which by the way,
so inside his head.
Do you guys see Brooks Koepka's post against Rory?
No.
Rory's whole divorce came out, whatever, and Brooks tweeted a picture like thanking his wife, and it was a picture of his wife in her bikini.
Oh my god!
Like literally, awesome. Like an hour later, and it's like
that's freaking awesome. That's freaking
tell me he's not trolling the dude right now. Like, yeah.
I hope they get paired up.
That's must watch
fun
TV.
To watch.
Yeah,
he'll be walking across his line.
Seriously,
he's ready to putt and stroll straight through it. Okay, how about surprise winners?
Surprise winner again, plus 4,000 is usually what we cut it at. I got Cam Smith plus 4,500.
Cam Smith's a good pick.
It is. I hate the fact that it's 4,500. I like to pick guys that are like deep.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Cam Smith isn't much of a reach.
I know.
It wouldn't be a surprise. How about you, Steve?
Lisa Day.
Ooh,
Lisa Day. Right. She plays in the LPGA. No,
he said Jason Day.
Oh, okay. She's not winning this damn tournament. I'm telling you.
That's how bad at.
Oh, that's his sister.
Winners I am.
That's his sister. I'm going to take Tiger at plus 30,000. Plus 30,000. You're saying a surprise winner. Hey, what would spur the golf world that's starting to fall flat on its face right now than Tiger Woods coming back and winning a tournament? It would ignite the golf world on fire.
Right.
So you're talking to the guy that picked Tiger to win the Masters that Trey just wanted to light me on fire for when I picked it.
Okay.
That's my surprise winner.
When Trey sees me, if he has a match in his hand, I can outrun him.
What is the name of that amateur? Is it Ashke? Is that his name? The one who is that the one who played the Masters?
No, that's Oscar? The guy that pitches for the Cubs. No, I'm just
kidding. It is yeah.
It's the guy that wears a clown
makeup. Imanaga. She was just throw some Cubs out there.
I'd say that, but it'd spin on my camera here and it wouldn't look good.
I don't.
Gonna win the World Series.
I don't know who the amateur was. I only remember the amateur guy that placed high last year in the one tournament.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he.
I don't know. Didn't he golf for Oklahoma State?
I think so.
Is it Ashke? Is it? I think he's.
All right. So we all picked our surprise. What's next, babe?
Ashke. I don't know. I'm not spelling that right. All right. All right. Well, let's jump into Preakness stuff. So we got the horses this weekend. Right. And then we'll kind of finish things up with Steve. You want to give some WNBA stuff after we give Preakness stuff?
If we have time.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So with Preakness stuff, obviously this is Preakness 149 this weekend. There has been some controversy already, which whenever there's controversy around Bob Baffert, it's always interesting. Top horse. Muth. I'm gonna say Muth.
I think it was Muth. Yeah.
Muth. Okay. Yeah. Scratched. Completely scratched. So
yeah. Do you know why he's scratched? He had a fever, something. I think it was hay fever. No, I'm just kidding. Little horse humor there.
Yeah.
John's
So
always horse in the room.
I'm not gonna lie. So I've actually been doing some research on the horses and stuff. I'd say the week after Kentucky Derby, and that was without knowing any horses that were actually going to be guaranteed in. But he was one of the guys, just knowing Bob Baffert as a trainer and stuff. He was a guy that I had picked to win. Then obviously he was scratched and he was the favorite. I'm like, and I even said the other week with the Kentucky Derby, like, I hate picking favorites. And I feel like sometimes when I start to like do the research, it's like you pick the favorites based on things, and then they're all, they are the favorites. I'm not saying I'm a horse expert by any means, because Fierceness in the Derby finished 16th, and that was the favorite. So not an expert here. Like, that was, So I'll kind of rattle mine off here real quick, and then if you guys have picks and stuff that you want to, share, you can. My winning horse this week is going to be Imagination. Ooh. And that is also a Bob Baffert horse. He was another horse that I actually tagged as, one of the top guys there. At 6-1 odds, I believe, is what he's sitting at right now. I like to do trifecta boxes. My trifecta box right now does include the new favorite. That's Mystic Dan, who did win the Kentucky Derby. I have Mystic Dan, I have Imagination, and I have Tuscan Gold. Tuscan Gold I had actually picked because of the jockey Tyler Gaffleon won it in 2019. Talked to some people today that said jockeys really don't matter. Like, you're going to get the best of the best no matter what. But I don't know. I'm a guy that likes trends, especially as a betting person. So Tyler Gaffleon, I picked him up there as Tuscan Gold. An exacta box that I have put down, I put Imagination and Mystic Dan. I do like to kind of mix those. I usually like to put two exacta boxes just because I like to, this doesn't hit and this will hit, whatever. Mystic Dan's probably going to be the one that I'll probably sub out a little bit just because I hate picking favorites, just because, especially lately with horses. My surprise winner, it was a little bit tougher. So I think last week we said it's got to be 30-1, or sorry, Derby Day it had to be 30-1. Less horses this time, so I don't know. I encouraged 15-1, but like I think there was only like 4 horses. I'm picking Seize the Gray. As my surprise winner. So
nice.
Anybody want to go next?
I'll hop in there.
Right.
My winner, I picked Catching Freedom. For my trifecta box, I had Muth in there, so kind of threw everything off. So I'm gonna go for I'm gonna throw my surprise winner in there just cause, like, just why not? Let's pump it up.
Why not, man?
So, I leaned into Uncle Heavy, because I'm excited because I'm becoming an uncle this year. My brother and his wife were expecting, so I was like,
congrats, man.
All right. Yeah, man. I'm happy for it. And she's going to be born like either a couple of days before my birthday or either on my birthday. So,
oh, man,
I'm looking forward to that.
That's cool as that.
So, Uncle Heavy, Mystic Dan, and Catching Freedom in the trifecta.
Okay.
And then my exacta, I had Catching Freedom and Mystic Dan. So I'm playing it safe.
No, I like it. I like that.
My surprise winner is 20. I found 20-1 with Uncle Heavy.
That's awesome. I like it.
That's cool.
Dude, I'll tell you what, and Catching Freedom, when I said about like my other exact box, Catching Freedom's the other horse I'm going to start to throw in there, because if you look at Derby stuff and how successful Catching Freedom was, he's going to be up there. And that's a good, I like that pick.
I had Seize the Gray as my winner.
That's your winner.
Whoa. My winner. Yeah.
Whoa. That's a prize winner. All right.
I thought he'd come off at 50-1 for 50 Shades of Grey, but it was. So, because the horse likes to be smacked in the ass, so it was like.
All right, seize the
I might,
grace.
I might sprinkle something on season great now. I don't want to miss that train. Oh man,
Some guy named Peter's riding him. I don't know.
Oh man.
Oh. No, I didn't.
All right.
I didn't know about the picking the
Box
free
and stuff.
thing.
Okay,
So,
no,
yeah.
that's all right. That's all right. All right, so seize the. So you all right? Cool. Hey, put a little sprinkle on that.
I like
it's not a bad thing. I mean, 15-1. It's all right. All right, Steve, you want to give us some WNBA? I know, or if you just want to talk about, last night and everything with opening night and
I'll go over a little quick. We'll get on the hype train that the WNBA is starting to get with Caitlin Clark coming in. Watched her entire game. I've watched a lot of college basketball in general, so it wasn't anything watching her. It wasn't brand new to me, so I knew what kind of to expect. And a lot of people don't know one of my former jobs, I was a sports consultant. So I actually was in the locker room with the Mystics, won the WNBA championship.
Oh, wow.
Got to be around that.
Wow.
One of my
cool.
clients, Natasha Gray, who's not on the team anymore. She's gone now. Miss her. She was awesome. But so being around WNBA was, something that's it's not brand new to me. And the way she played, in my honest opinion, it was like a rookie. Like I don't know why a lot of these articles that are coming out about her saying, "Oh, that was her opening." I'm like, you're nervous. You know how much pressure. And one of my good friends texted me, he goes, "When's the last time you seen an athlete with this much pressure on them coming into the league?" You know what I mean? Like they're calling her she's saving the WNBA. That's pressure. The number one overall pick, the record she's breaking in college coming in. It's the people who don't really watch basketball but have the loudest opinion are gonna probably talk bad about her. And that's where it kind of upsets me, where it's like, what do you expect her to do? Come out dunking and play like Michael Jordan her first game? Like that's not realistic. Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan his rookie season off the bat. You knew he was talented. Like but 20 points. She had a good 10 turnovers. She was trying to make passes in places she wouldn't. She was trying to make plays.
Sure.
And she took 4 for 11 from 3. And later on as the game was going on, she was getting more comfortable. You saw the chemistry with her teammates. The other rookie of the year last year, Boston, was pulling her aside after when they were going into the tunnel at halftime.
I saw that was cool.
Kind of talking her up, kind of like, hey, like shake that off. So I expect her to she's going to figure it out. They're probably going to go 0-5 the first 5 games. They're playing playoff contending teams the first 5. So it's a rough start. So it's not going to look pretty. People are going to be judging her, thinking that she's overrated. It's just just a tough spot to be in. But as
give it time.
It took Wemby like a month and a half to figure out the WNBA, right? He wasn't.
Yeah, but think of what the people that she's putting in the seats. Anybody who can appreciate the talent that she has. You watch one game of her in college. You have to respect that girl's game.
Yeah.
I mean, college teams were throwing all sorts of defenses at her, combination defenses at her. They were throwing everything at that girl, and she showed. I mean, she showed, and she made her teammates around her better. As any team, I don't care, men, women, I don't care who. If you're a super talented athlete, you're not just going to step in and automatically just be the superstar instantaneously. You got to feel your environment. You got to know what your teammates are capable of, how they're going to react, where they're going to be. Once you know where they're going to be and what you can rely upon, you think, look what she's done for the sport already. I mean, just based on it, I mean, people want to see her play.
Right.
They want to see her play.
So it's exciting to see the growth, see where she goes. Some of the futures, like I was talking about, I made a long post, kind of broke it down with things I was doing. I did take the under on her assists, and the reason why I took that, averaging over 6 assists doesn't happen much in general in the WNBA.
Mhm.
But two, I mean, her job on the team is not the same as it was on Iowa. She's
Right.
she's not the point guard. She's coming out there, she's got the green light, she's shooting. So teams are going to collapse on her. Yes, she's going to pass out, but it's not going to be to pass out to somebody who's going to shoot. It's not set up a pick and roll like that. She moves around. If you're going to really compare her game to a NBA player, it is like Steph. And Steph moves. He never stops. And that's what she does. Point. She never stops. She's running off these screens. She's coming out. She's coming out to get open. So that's why her assists will be under 6. I think 6.3 was the line that was set on DraftKings. And some people have different opinions. They think she's going to be doing the same thing she did in college. No, she is. Now next year, I might feel different because she's used to the speed and
she's got a year.
She might be like that. Take that step, but right now, her job is to shoot, and so she might have games if she goes off for assists, but it's going to be shooting. So that goes into my next where I said she's going to have potentially my long shot for her was a 50-point game this season. And I think that was plus 3,000 for that. And all it's going to take is one game against one of these bad defensive teams. She's going to drop, 11 threes. And, she still drives to the hoop. Girl's got vision when she goes to the lane. Like, yes, she can shoot threes, but people don't realize like she can get to the cup. So it's a possibility. And then going from there, it goes to having the official NBA or WNBA record is 54 points in a game. I know I went under that and put the 50. I was like, I know it's 4 more points, but I'm not going to fight with history. I'd rather say I lost it. I'd rather say I won it because she went over. Cool. I win no matter what. And then I think the next one was I think make 14 plus threes in the game. I believe that was it. And
I think that was it.
That's a lot of threes.
And it's a lot of threes, but if anybody can do it, it's like I mean, like I said, she's not going to do it against the Las Vegas Aces or the New York Liberty or like her first game was against Connecticut Sun, which is a potential champion. So you're not going to get those. But when she comes to Washington, I mean, Della Don's not playing this whole season, and they look better than I thought they were going to be. But when she plays one of these teams that aren't good defensively, she's gonna. I think she's at that point after going through Murderer's Row, she's gonna be ready to take a jump. So
I like it.
That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I think.
Heck yeah.
I think we're
she's
gonna
changing the game.
Yeah, there's gonna be kids in the playground shooting threes, yelling Caitlin Clark, and and I'm all for it.
Heck yeah,
if I had hair, I'd pretend I was her in a driveway, but that's
all right. Well, hey, appreciate you guys, man. This was awesome. I'm glad we were, able to come on.
Fun, man.
Of course, man. anytime. Like I tell you, man. Anytime you need me to fill in, just put in the closer. I'll come in.
I was gonna say we gotta get you back on as a regular guest when they're back on too. So what fun, but appreciate you guys.
I mean, when you have 2 guests this good looking, I mean, it's I just can't. I think the female audience is going to increase tenfold.
Hey, WNBA talk. We got we got it, man.
Hey.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, have a great weekend. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.
All right. We'll see you.